here, and regular viewers to the channel may have noticed that over the past month or so, the Oxi One has kind of replaced the BeatStep Pro as my go-to sequencer, especially when I'm using more than one oscillator. And so I thought I'd make a video taking a look at some of the features of the Oxi One, taking a look at my workflow, and discovering why it seems to be such a popular sequencer. If that sounds good, then please stick around. Also, please subscribe if you're not already. And yeah, let's dive into the video. Okay, so I want to start by taking a look at some of the basics. The Oxi One is pretty deep and it can be intimidating when you first get started. I would recommend, did anyone see Myler Melodies uploaded a video recently about Google Notebook? It's a kind of free website you can drop a manual in and then just ask Google AI questions. I've been using this a lot. It's very handy when you're getting started. But yeah, let's take a look at the basics here. We have 4 sequencers, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on the back of the Oxi One, there are 8 CV outputs and 8 gate outputs. And to get started, you need to assign these to a sequencer. So if you hit Shift and LFO, you're in the Gate CV Assign page. And this top row here represents sequencer 1 with your 8 CVs and your 8 gates. So I'm just going to put CV1, Gate 1 to sequencer 1, and CV2 and Gate 2 to sequencer 2. And at first I thought this was a kind of unusual workflow, but it actually makes a lot of sense because I'm using Plats on sequencer 1 here, which has a trigger input. So this gate is going to trigger Plats. But I would also like a gate to trigger channel 4 of maths, which is going to be my filter envelope. And I can simply take another gate from the same sequencer and have that trigger maths. So it's pretty handy. And let's start the sequencer going. I do have it synced to PAMs, so I'm just starting PAMs there. And we're not hearing anything because there are no notes. So let's just pop in some random notes. Doesn't sound very good, but we can change this pretty quickly by quantizing it. So if you hit Shift and use the third encoder, we can choose the scale. That's not bad. Let's move on to sequencer 2. I'm also going to quantize this to a minor scale. And for this one, I want to play something on top, so we hit the keyboard button. And we kind of play left and right and up and down. This is like our octaves here. Which I really like. It's actually makes me write in a slightly different way. Yeah, let's say we want to record something on here, but we want it to be longer than the 16 beats that we have currently. What you would do is hit the end button. And I'm going to choose, well, you can hit 64. If you hit it again, it goes up to 128. So you can get some pretty long sequences. I'm going to stick to 32 for now. And I'm going to hit record. There is a setting in here that I changed that when you hit record, it records instantly. I think when I first got it, there was like a 4 or 8 beat counting, which I found quite annoying. But yeah, now you can just play it on the top. Let's bring in some reverb. And one of the great things about the Oxi One is the randomization, so you can come in to your sequencer and let's add some random octave changes. once you're happy with this, if you are happy with it, you can start to save it so that you've got something in your arrangement mode. To save, we just double tap. And you know, I'm going to save this to the next one as well so that I can change it and just make some slight alterations. When we're in arranger mode, you just tap once to load up your pattern and it will come in time. So let's go into sequencer 2 again and change something. I'm going to go back and save that now. And I'm going to do the same with the bassline. There must be something cool we can do with this bassline. That's quite nice. So yeah, now I'm going to save that to 2. Now obviously there's a lot more I could go over here. There's a lot of basics on the front panel here. For example, if you want to move up or down an octave, you can do that right on the front panel. You can also change the BPM on the front panel. You can mute tracks by pressing the mute button and hitting your sequencer. And another thing that I kind of just discovered recently is you can actually change the division of your sequence, and this can have some interesting results. I'm going to hit shift and I'm going to sort of divide it by 2. I like that. So yeah, I've missed out loads of stuff here, but I just wanted to give you a very basic overview of how this works. Another thing that's good to remember, if you want to clear a pattern, you hit shift and press the cross here, and it's all gone. One of the features I really like on the Oxi One is the random generator. If you hold shift and press the random button, you enter the generator page and you can generate a random sequence by pressing the last encoder. Now there's no guarantee the sequence will be good, but we can just continuously do this until we find something to work with. Bit simple. That's a bit too simple as well. Okay, I like this. I'm going to go back into the random perform page and add some probability of octave changing, maybe 30%. And I'm also going to add a little bit of glide to one of the notes, maybe this one at the end. To do that we would hold shift and press the note, and then we can add glide. Let's add 26. Okay, I'm liking that. easily it created something out of nothing there. If you're ever low on inspiration, this is a great way to just randomly generate something to work with. Another fun way to generate random sequences is using the stochastic sequencer, and the way this works is we have the notes of our scale along the bottom, and then we can add probability of each note playing by doing this. We can also increase or decrease the range of the octaves. And of course this sounds totally random until we lock a pattern in place. I do have plats running through the MFX to get a little bit of stereo delay happening. I'm guessing that would be a 64 beat sequence, so I'm going to record that in. Well, there seems to be something in there already. Let's clear that. That sounds great. That's bit reduction from the effects side. If I was wanting to write some music, then this is an amazing starting point, which basically came from nowhere. I had no ideas. The sequence was generated by the Oxi One. The final sequencer mode I'd like to take a look at is called Matriceal, and this is again another fresh take on sequencing. Let's set it up by choosing Matriceal, and you'll instantly notice that it looks a lot different to the other sequencers, and there's actually 4 tracks in here per one sequencer, so that's pretty cool. Let's set up the CVs and gates. Now, I have noticed that when you hit the first CV, it says track 3 on here. I'm going to change that to track 1 and track 2. So because we're only working within sequencer 1, we want all of our CVs and gates within sequencer 1. And let's go back to the sequencer and talk about how this works. So there's 4 tracks in here. Each track has 16 beats. It's this kind of square here. And then we have 10 different controls down the bottom, which can have their own sort of per step sequences. We've got trigger, note, interval, pulses, velocity, octave, gate, trigger probability, retrig, and glide. So let's start with trigger and put down a trigger. Sounds good. And one thing I noticed which was cool is you can hold this down and add pulses and it will sort of create rhythms. Let's put down some triggers on track 2. And I think a lot of the power from this comes from the fact that we can take each different parameter here and change the length of it. So I'm in track 2, I've got the trigger selected, and I'm going to make this sequence maybe 11. Yeah, make it 11 beats long. So we're already getting a nice polyrhythm happening. If we want to change the note of an individual step, you do need to remember where your triggers are. So I maybe want to change this one here. You would hit note and you can hold that down and there we go. Now another really interesting feature here is this one called interval, which seems to modulate the notes based on intervals. I've not really figured out how this works, but I like what it does. So let's select a note and I'm going to put the interval to +2. And I'm actually going to dial in the range a bit. I don't want this one going too low. Next, let's add in some random octaves on track 2. So I'm going to hit the octave button. I'm going to make this sequence maybe 7 long, and then choose some random steps to increase the octaves on. And I'm going to turn the probability down to about 50%. Maybe I'll add some glides in as well, and I'm going to change the length of this one to 9. And this means that the glides are gonna happen on different accents every time it comes round. Heard any glides yet, but I'm sure it will happen. There we go. Now there's other things we can do as well. Of course, we have retrig. Retrig, I think, adds retriggers in and keeps the sequence the same length. So we'll find out. Yeah, it's kind of like a trill. Is that the right word? Might take that one off. And then there's another one which is pulse. which is different. This one will actually add notes to your sequence, so let's try this one out. I might add some octaves into this one as well. And I'll make the octaves 7 long and just throw in some random octaves. So we've definitely got some random stuff happening now, but the cool thing about this is we can actually sort of lock, the same with the stochastic mode, we can lock sequences in place by holding the button down here for the channel and setting the length. So I've set it to 8, so it's captured the sort of last 8 beats of the sequence. We can take that off again, let it go, capture something else. That's me looped 8 beats of track 2. Really interesting way to work, and it's really different from how I normally work, which is why I like it. It will bring out something different from your normal workflow. So yeah, that's kind of my first overview of the Oxi One. There's a lot I didn't touch on here. I didn't touch the chord mode or the polyphonic sequencer. I didn't touch on using it with MIDI. I didn't touch on the Oxi Pipe, which is a Eurorack module which kind of breaks out your 8 CVs and gates, puts them in your rack, which means you can take your rack to a venue and you don't need to patch your 8 CVs and gates in, you just connect one cable. That's super handy, and I did use that live. If you would like to check out my live set, I'll leave a link to the video up here. I didn't touch on the LFOs because I've not used them yet. I didn't touch on the modulation. I didn't touch on step chord. I've never even pressed that button before. It's a very deep machine. But yeah, if you've enjoyed today's video, please leave a like, leave a comment. If you would like to support my channel, if you enjoy my work, then I have a Patreon account where I upload extra videos, as well as sample packs and preset packs. You can grab them also on my online store. I have a new album. This is Modular Tapes #1, and it is a collection of live synthesizer performances, kind of like the ones you're hearing in this video. Comes in a nice pink cassette. Some of these were recorded at home in the studio, some of them were recorded at venues. There's about an hour worth of jams in here, so if you like the sound of my tunes, you can check this out on Bandcamp. And there are some affiliate links down below as well. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.